include today, actually, the laws of mechira, the laws of sales. Been a journey. If you can let Liba in, please. Thank you. Okay, chapter 28. Following rules apply when a person tells a colleague, I am selling you a parcel of earth fit to sow a core of produce. If the land contains small hollows that are 10 handbreadths deep, even if they do not contain water, or rocks that are 10 handbreadths high, they are not included in the above measure. The rationale is that a person does not want to pay money for one parcel of land and have it appear as 2 or 3 parcels. The purchaser acquires these rocks and hollows as part of the parcel of land fit to sow a core without paying for them. So I just want to repeat that the laws of business laws, this is all rabbinic stuff, meaning the rabbis are setting the parameters of what is considered a sale in a situation where it's not clearly, definitively agreed upon. Like we learned yesterday, what is considered a house? When I'm selling a house, and I'm just saying the word house. So if in your community, if you're in region, in your place, when you say the word house, it includes the belongings in the house. It includes the courtyard outside of the house. It includes, the field. So then it's all inclusive, if that's what it is meant by such a term, right? By the concept. If there is no principle to go by or accepted definition, then we go by the definition of the sages and what they have determined, right? So here we're talking about a person who's selling a parcel of earth fit to grow things, an amount called a core, right? So now the question is, if the small hollows that are 10 handbreadths deep, which is like 40 inches, right? And even if they don't contain water, because if they contain water, then that's something that you want. 1 second, just want to see something here. By the way, when we're speaking about a core over here, we're talking about 2,500 square cubits, which is about 7,500 square feet. Oh, no, sorry, 2,500 square cubits is to sew a saw. This is a cubit. So 2,500, right, an arm's length.
Not be fit. So.
Okay, so in other words, when we're speaking about, what's capable of growing this amount that we're going to get to 2,500 square cubits, it's not including any of this in the measure. Because a person doesn't want to pay for a parcel of land and have it appear 2 or 3 parcels, right? Because in other words, yeah. Yeah, that's what I understand. It's not.
Can't it fall and everything and move it to another portion? Oh. The plow.
If they're large enough to sow a quarter of a cob of grain, their independent entities not included in the sale of the field as a whole. Okay, some debate on this. Others hold that no, it still remains part of the seller. The Rambam says no, it's the purchasers, but not included in the amount. If the olives and the rocks are smaller than 10 handbreadths, which are measured together with the, or the rocks are smaller than, they are measured together with the remainder of the field, because then it is not have its own kind of separate entity identity. When does the above apply? When together the area in the rocks and the hollows was no more than the area necessary to sow 4 kabin, which was contained within the area where at least 5 kabin could be sown and was contained within the majority of the field. If the area of the rocks and the hollows is more than the area necessary for 4 kabin, the area is very spread out, or it is contained within the lesser area than one of which of the 5 kabin could be sown. They are not included in the measure of the field, even if they are not 10 handbreadths high and deep.
Number?
And number 2, all the following situations are left. Our question is left unresolved by the Talmud. The majority of the area necessary to sow 4 kabin and contained in a small portion of the field, a small portion of the area necessary to sow 4 kabin is contained with the majority of the field. The rocks in the straight line, in a circle, in a triangle, they are in a shape, in a star, or a jagged line. In all these instances, because of the doubt involved, we follow the principle. What's the principle? One who desires to expropriate money from the colleague must prove his contention. Remember, the whole question is here, what is meant by this? What was the, the agreement? Because these are based on the terms that we're using, as opposed to something that is written very clearly and delineated in very detail. Like, I'm taking, part of the purchases, including this and this and that. It's not stating that. So as a result, it becomes, the question. It's not stating. Hmm?
Rock and earth. Rock, rock, earth.
Right. So if the earth on top of the rock beneath it, or the rock on top of the earth beneath it, there is an unresolved doubt among our sages, and the above principle is followed. Okay.
One large rock.
If there's one large rock, even if it's only as large as the area necessary to sow a quarter of a kav, it is not including the measurement. If the rock is next to the boulder, the field, even if it's very small, it is not included in the measurement. If there is some earth between the rock and the boundary, there's not a resolved doubt among the sages. Moment here.
He just couldn't resolve it. I see that. Hold it.
The idea is does it have a distinct entity that is separate, or is it part of the field? That's really what the issue comes down to, what the discussion is about. Okay. Now, unfortunately, I didn't realize the time, and I